Good morning, Bulldogs. I'm here with Samiha Rizvi, a Voices leader for Austin High School. Hey, Samiha, so can you tell me what a town hall meeting is? Now, a town hall meeting is basically where a group of people get together and address their concerns and opinions to another group of representatives, leaders in their community. Specifically for our school, it would be more so students addressing their concerns to the principal, to other student representatives, to faculty members.
And what's the main issue or purpose of today's town hall meeting?
Now, in light of the recent attacks in Parkland at Stoneman Douglas High School, we found it important to address, safety, campus safety, mental health awareness, because, it could happen to us and we never know that. That's why we need this information from the student body to make sure we can improve our school. So that's why we had this town hall meeting.
And what are we going to do with information from today's meeting? Is it going to go to the principals or other district officials?
Now, for this information specifically, it will go to our principal and other student representatives that are going to use that information to create certain events regarding the recent shooting or just to make better protocols for our school so we can help keep our student body, our faculty members safe from any other attacks that could, God forbid, happen to us. That's why it's important that we can share our voices to make a bigger difference in our community and our school.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, hi, my name is Sean. In regards to what to do in response to bullying or how to prevent that, I feel like kids are going to do what they're going to do anyway, so having a preventative measure probably won't work unless there's an actual punishment. Like I remember Trey was saying that there wasn't any real reciprocation for their actions. So having someone actually have less than a grade drop or have a real punishment that might affect them in the future will prevent people from doing it in the long run.
From what I've noticed, bullying kind of starts at the home, so at the home level, and then people come to school, and then that's where they actively, start bullying students. But I think that there's nothing we could do to necessarily stop bullying besides punishment. But I think it's also not just punishing bullies, but also helping them, because a lot of stuff that they're going through is what they kind of regurgitate and project out onto other people, if that makes sense. So maybe if we get a complaint that another student is bullying another student, we could go and talk to the bullies and just make sure that everything's okay with them at first, because that's really what the underlying issue is.
I just wanted to talk about a topic about my friend. It wasn't personally about me. So from the bullying aspect, my friend, it's not that he's being bullied from somebody else, but he has so much on him that he's actually bullying himself. So he's in a sport, he moved here from out of the States, he has a lot of AP classes and he's not doing well in them, and he passed the deadline to drop the class, so he had to struggle through it because it was his grade. And he constantly was bullying himself. He goes through bad things. His mom doesn't live with him because she works somewhere else. And he doesn't feel like he can talk to anybody, where there's counselors, and counselors have talked to him many times. But he just doesn't feel like he can talk to people. So I think there should be something where you don't have to talk to your counselor, you can talk to all of the counselors, you can talk. And the teacher even knew about this, and she didn't do much to help. All she did was tell the counselor. She didn't do anything personally. They didn't talk to his family. There's so many things, errors that happened in between that could have helped, because he was the gift going all the way. So there should be something.
As teachers, we do not get training on how to help you. The counselors don't talk to us on how to help you. I'm just letting you know this up front, which is one of the reasons why it's hard when you come into school as a new teacher with everything on your plate to take on 10,000 roles. There are some of us that take on 10,000 roles. I'm one of those people. A lot of the people that are sitting here are those people because this is important to us. The first time I had a bullying situation and I went to talk to the counselors my first year as a teacher was a really big eye-opener. In the process of what can you do to help when you talk to the kids and then you talk to the people involved and you talk to the parents and you talk to a counselor and you try to get help outside. And so there's a lot of different steps that go on. I can talk to you and give you a safe place and have you confide to me, and I can refer you to a counselor. But there's only so many things that you can do from there. If problems at home and your parents don't agree, you just are gonna have to just try your best, you know, to work with others. There are some situations that involve that you need to call CPS, you need to call the police, and get them involved, and some of you do not want us to do that. I mean, it's that trust level of what can you say and what can you not say. But the biggest issue is that none of these agencies are connected and they're not sharing the information. I would be really honest. I think, I mean, when I recently went to grad school and I got training to become a mentor for social and emotional problems with students. And one of the things that, you know, you should be offered here at the school, in my personal opinion, is, you know, counseling sessions and just a place to have this forum, but like, it be a setting in different rooms of different teachers for different topics every week, whether it is, as Joshua said, I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork and I don't know how to deal with it, or I'm a new student and I don't know anybody and you need to know other people. Because you guys don't, to me, sometimes it's you're not telling each other because you're embarrassed, because you're struggling, and to try to get somebody like me to realize that you're struggling. If you're good at reading people, you can, but not everybody can read you. And that's the hardest thing. The counselors have so much on their plate, but I don't feel like, personally, that they make enough time to reach out to get to know you. And so it's really, I heard a lot of you say, if the teacher doesn't say that there's an issue, it's hard to get to that next step. So find some.
I really think that it would be like helpful for like, of course, getting in touch with our local government, getting in touch with legislature, so they can just really understand. No one's going to tell them better what it feels like than us, the students, you know, who go through this every day. And I feel like just sitting down, having things like this, but just with people in higher power who make the changes that we see every day, is going to be really productive. And just like not talking, because like I hear and I see a lot of things about how we can change, but they're just very vague things. They're not like as specific. But I strongly believe in like, if you want to see a change, you need to say what you want. So, like, you need to have something that you need to put forward. Like, this is what needs to happen. I think we just need to have like a deeper connection between people who can make these changes, more opportunities to voice actual specific changes, things that we can do, things that we can have change created that we can see in our community like immediately, and not talk about or cruise over play politics until it's a bit too late.
I think that if legislation and just people in power in general understood how scared that their children or the children of their communities felt, that more action would be taken, and that if it was their own children and their own children were being put in these situations, would more action be taken. So I think that they should be treated like if it was their children, or if it was like your family.
I feel like if we do a walkout, we should have all teachers and like faculty on board too, because we just kind of do it and it's like student-led. It should be student-led, but we should have all like teachers okay with it, and like Dr. Quadri on board with it, and him helping us organize it. Because we don't want to walk out like while we're doing assignments. I think it's like something that we're trying to get out of the test or something that like everyone's on board, even teachers are involved in, because like we are all like a body together.